Hello Internet, it's Elizabeth here. I know most of you are used to me writing things on the internet. I do a lot of writing, not so much with the video, but I've been wanting to try this whole video blogging thing for a while now, so I figured, hey, might as well give it a whirl and see how it goes. So a lot's been going on recently, so I thought I'd give an update for those of you who are going, what is she doing? So most of you know, about a year ago, I sold my house, packed everything up, and moved to China to teach English. And it was quite an adventure, and it was supposed to be for 2 years, but shortly after I got there, the circumstances changed to the point where I was not really able to stay there. Long story short, I went to a teeny tiny little town in southern China where there were a grand total of, at the most, I think there were 10 English speakers, including me. And over the course of several months, people finished and moved back home, or got new jobs and moved to a different city, or unfortunately my poor roommate got really sick and just went to the doctor and had a bajillion tests done, and they couldn't determine what was causing her sickness, so they told her, the closest we can tell, you are allergic to China and we can't pinpoint what's going on, so you need to go home, which left me pretty much alone in teeny tiny podunk China. And so of course my lovely anxiety just went through the roof, and I was having pretty much 24-hour-a-day panic attacks. If you've ever had a panic attack, you know it is not fun. So I made the decision to come back to California and kind of reassess what was next. You know, I had planned on being in China until the end of 2014, so was really kind of figuring out what to do with myself. So for the last 7 months, I have been looking for what to do next. I had been applying to jobs and looking at volunteer opportunities and trying to figure out how to get back overseas, because my heart is really for working in the developing world. And I learned that international development is probably one of the most difficult fields to get into. The conundrum is this: if an organization is going to be spending thousands of dollars to get your butt over to Cambodia to do this work, they want to be sure that you are going to 100% be able to get there day one, start, be able to do the job and do great at it. And the only way they feel they can assess that is if you've done the job before. So if you've never done international development work, you can't say that you know how to do international development work. So it's kind of this catch-22, hard to get into. So a couple months ago, I was seriously considering joining the Peace Corps. And it had been something that I've been thinking about doing for several years, but it still never really set right with me. Like, oh, I'd probably be going back into the middle of nowhere, who knows, Africa, Asia, somewhere, working alone again for 2 years, and I wasn't ready to do that again. So I went back to a program that I had heard something about but didn't really know much about, and that was AmeriCorps, which is what they call the domestic Peace Corps, sort of. It is for Americans who want to volunteer in America. And the goal of AmeriCorps is to help alleviate combat, get rid of, whatever word you want to use, poverty. My focus for many years has been on the developing world, where people are trying to survive on $1.50 a day. And I have gone to some of these places and I have seen this extreme poverty. So it never really crossed my mind to work alleviating poverty in the richest country in the world. But it really has become more apparent to me that there still is a lot of work to do, even in America. So I found a job in Washington, D.C. And 2 weeks ago, I moved to our nation's capital. Been here for 2 weeks now. And it definitely is a different world out here. I'll give you that. One of the hallmarks of the AmeriCorps program is that they want all of the volunteers to live at the same standard as the people that we're serving. So we are given a living allowance that is just above the poverty line. So part of my challenge has been to figure out how to live in Washington, D.C. on about $1,200 a month. So far I have been trying to live up to this challenge, finding different free programs and figuring out how to eat fresh vegetables, fruits and vegetables on almost no food budget. Luckily we have the Smithsonian here, so I can go to any number of museums and even the zoo for free, so I can keep myself entertained. And lots of libraries, so lots of books that I can check out. But so far I have been really enjoying my time here. If any of you are wondering, hey, Elizabeth was home from China for 7 months and I didn't hear anything from her. I didn't really make much contact with people when I came home, just because I came home feeling like a huge failure. And I know I wasn't a failure for coming home early, but it still felt like that. And I knew that anytime I was going to talk with one of my friends, that subject was going to come up. And it was something that I really didn't want to talk about. So I'm sorry for all those my lovely friends that I really did want to see while I was in California, but I'm working through that, not feeling like quite as much of a failure now that I have something new that I'm doing. And I would definitely love to see you next time in California. A little history lesson about the AmeriCorps program. It was started in 1965, just a couple of years after they started the Peace Corps program. And there are several different sub-programs in AmeriCorps. And the one that I am a part of is, can you see it? Can you see it? The VISTA program. Love the acronyms. Volunteers in Service to America. And anybody can be a VISTA, from 18 up to any age. And there are a ton of programs that you can be a part of. And the job that I ended up taking was with an organization called Fair Chance. I kind of have a hard time describing what Fair Chance does, because most other VISTAs are working with organizations where they can say, I'm teaching photojournalism to high school students, or I'm trying to get people to be aware of the services that are available to them with the new healthcare reform, or something along those lines. Whereas Fair Chance is a nonprofit that serves other nonprofits. So we don't serve anybody directly. What Fair Chance does is that we partner with other nonprofits in the DC area that are serving people, and more specifically that are serving youth around the city. What we do is that we go in and we look at their programs and we look at their processes, mostly in the areas of like board development, fundraising, HR, other types of kind of behind the scenes things, and we look at their processes and see how they can improve so that they can become a stronger, more self-sustaining organization. So in that way, Fairchance, where I will be working, is kind of, I say it's multiplying capacity building across several organizations so that we can serve more at-risk youth in the DC area. What I will be doing is using my love for research and for numbers, and I will be implementing their new evaluation program. So I will be evaluating these organizations' progress through our program and seeing how effective our partnership has been. And I'm really excited because most of you know I'm a big research nerd, and I'm excited to be learning how to use my skills in this area to benefit a nonprofit and to help, do something to make this world a little bit better. So that's what I've been up to. If anybody's ever in our nation's capital, make sure to let me know. Love to see you. I'm going to show you around. And I hope you've enjoyed seeing my face on video. I might try it again. So, okay.